The man suddenly noticed that droplets of water had formed on the surface of the plastic bag. A flash of inspiration struck him, as if he had found a lifeline. He quickly took out a small knife and cut open the side of a plastic barrel. Then he scooped up half a barrel of seawater and covered the mouth of the barrel with a layer of plastic film. He placed a cup in the middle, then pressed a heavy object onto the center of the plastic film and left it to bake under the scorching sun for a full 3 hours. He watched as the seawater evaporated and then condensed, turning into tiny droplets that trickled down the plastic film and dripped back into the cup. The man carefully picked up the cup, took a small sip, and a look of satisfaction instantly appeared on his face. This was the first sip of fresh water he had after drifting at sea for a full 7 days. With water, there was hope for survival. Next, the old man cast his fishing line into the sea, hoping to catch a few fish to fill his stomach. While waiting for a bite, he took out his sextant, measured the angle, and after some calculations, discovered that he was drifting along the ocean current and would soon float near an international shipping route. As long as the ship passed Gar, he might be rescued. Not long after, there was movement at the end of the fishing line. Suddenly, it was yanked down hard. The old man was delighted. This had to be a big one. But before he could even celebrate, a shark suddenly shot out and snatched away his dinner in one bite. This gave the old man quite a scare. When he stood up to look, he realized he was already surrounded by a group of sharks. Seeing the flimsy raft beneath him, he instantly lost all confidence. After nightfall, a sudden, thunderous roar startled him awake. Looking up, he was surprised to see a cargo ship passing right by him. He instantly perked up and hurriedly fired a distress flare, afraid to miss the chance. He even used up his very last one as well. The flare lit up the pitch-black night sky in a fiery red, but that cargo ship, like a cold, indifferent steel giant, sailed away without even looking back. The old man was utterly disheartened, feeling as if all the strength had been drained from his body in an instant. The next day, he used his sextant to check his position again, and after his calculations, he realized he had already drifted off course. He let out a long sigh and collapsed helplessly onto the raft, feeling that his days were probably numbered. Perhaps out of pity, fate intervened, and in the middle of the night, a faint light appeared again in the distance. He hurriedly searched for a signal flare, but he had already used up all his supplies. Still, he couldn't let this final opportunity slip by. Without hesitation, he tore a few pages from his notebook, threw them into a bucket, and took out some matches from the first aid kit to set the paper alight. The next second, he stood up, trembling as he tried to shout, but he was simply too hungry and weak. He couldn't get a single word out. He threw caution to the wind and immediately tore out the rest of the notebook pages, tossing them all into the fire to make it burn even brighter. But just then, something unexpected happened. He accidentally set fire to the only raft he depended on for survival. In a stumble, the old man fell into the icy sea. Within seconds, the raft was reduced to ashes. The old man was utterly hopeless, and it was as if all his strength left him in that moment, letting his body slowly sink into the freezing depths of the sea. But just as he was about to give up and say goodbye to the world, suddenly, he caught sight of the outline of a fishing boat slowly gliding across the water in the darkness. Overjoyed, his deep-seated survival instinct was finally awakened, driving him to muster every last bit of strength and swim desperately toward the surface. At last, he was saved. When fate pushes you to the brink and all hope has been extinguished, will you choose to sink into despair, or like him, burn yourself if you must, just to pierce the darkness and ignite a ray of light for yourself?